Good morning, everyone. I appreciate all the heavy lifting of my colleagues on the transition team these past many months. It has been a joy to work with Reverend Tovis, Reverend Terry, John Farrow, Tricia Dell, and Diana Candy to begin the process to ready UUSM for our next ministry and to map out the framework to achieve it. In truth, I can think of nothing more important than strengthening this community, which is so dear to me and Michael. This community helped raise my children. It continues to bring me a sense of belonging, gratitude, stimulation, caring, personal growth, and transformation. I don't know if I would have survived the challenges of the last 2 years had it not been for all of you, the members of this loving community, and I thank you. I am driven by a deep desire to ensure that this community thrives and continues to build and grow so it will be here for others in the decades to come. And I am convinced that the process to achieve this end, the one that has been approved by our Board of Trustees, and the one we are talking with you about this morning, is the way to achieve this end. In the first reflection, Reverend Tovis shared her insights regarding our heritage, our history, our culture, what has made us who we are, our successes, our perseverance, our resiliency, along with some scars that have developed along the way and some expressed issues of concern that are shared by some in the congregation. In the second reflection, John Farrow described the process of our transition experience thus far and the path ahead that we envision to find a contract minister for a period of 5 years with a developmental focus. John described developmental ministry as an opportunity for UUSM to engage in a collective collaboration of what we want to be as a community and what we want to gain from this community going forward. What goals can we establish to achieve these outcomes? So I am the cleanup batter with this third reflection. I will share with you what the transition team has learned about developmental ministry to try to demystify this process. We have talked over the recent months with 2 developmental ministers, one of whom you may know about. He is currently the minister in the Berkeley UU Church. His name is Reverend Marcus Liefert, and he served as the Unitarian Universalist, the minister for the Marin congregation during their developmental period. We also had conversations with some of the lay leaders of the UU Marin congregation who sent us a very impressive journal or expose of their transformation process through the developmental ministry. They called it, quote, from caterpillar to butterfly. I will briefly describe their experience. After a 10-year settled minister, the UU Marin hired a talented and experienced interim minister for 2 years, someone we know quite well, Joy Atkinson. Joy helped this congregation determine that they needed to search for a developmental minister. And mind you, Joy was there for 2 years, the exact same period of time that we have the joy to be guided by Reverend Tovis and Reverend Terry, which is a very typical interim period. And during the time that Joy was with them, the UU Marin congregation worked to formulate 5 priority goals in a consensus-driven process. We have a copy of those goals. They're really quite complex, but that was what they began their process and what they used to seek the search for their developmental minister. So with the UUA's help, the Marin congregation hired Reverend Marcus, and they described Reverend Marcus as bringing a playful, optimistic spirit to the church. The board established a leadership team with both board and non-board members, including both legacy members of the community as well as new members of the community. They worked to improve communications with the congregation, held frequent congregational meetings that were like think tank sessions. They took advantage of UUA resources to enhance leadership skills. They took advantage of UUA resources to exchange ideas with other congregations. They engaged in community building activities through a series of small group listening sessions. They started new celebratory events, re-engaged in social justice programs, and brought on some new recognition and appreciation programs. UUA Marin found the developmental process itself to be invaluable. It led to a dynamic partnership among the minister, the board, and the congregation. And this partnership came to view conflicts and challenges as a healthy part of growth. The process enhanced trust, problem solving, and intimacy among the members. Through the developmental process, their initial, very complex goals transformed into much simpler action goals. So after investing 5 years in the developmental ministry process, the UU Marin congregation boasts the following results. First, an increase in the congregation's membership. Second, an increase in the financial support of the church. Quote, moving from a culture of scarcity to a culture of abundance. Wouldn't that be nice? And third, a more engaged, intimate, welcoming, functional, and effective community. I'm excited about our opportunity at UUSM to experience a developmental ministry process. As with UU Marin, I believe it will bring a new spark to our community. Let's build on what we have achieved already. Let's celebrate our resilience and move forward with enthusiasm, integrity, and optimism. That means, following this service, I hope to see all of you in this room right now participating in our 3rd congregational conversation to discuss and formulate goals for UUSM to pursue in the coming years. Let me close with a quote that I have borrowed from the UU Marin Congregation's journal about their developmental process. Optimism is a strategy for making a better future. Because unless you believe that the future can be better, it's unlikely you will step up and take responsibility for making it so. If you assume there's no hope, you can guarantee that there will be no hope.